I want to start today off with a little bit of a cleanup. I want to take this down. I'm going to move my nether portal. I want to deal with some of the snow on my roof, as well as I totally have vines just growing on the side of my wall. So I'm going to take a little bit of time and just do a little bit of cleanup really fast. Now that our nether portal is moved and our chores are done, I want to go on a bit of an adventure. I want to be able to start using moss in my builds, and if you can see, there's a tree out in the distance right there that looks a little different from the spruce forest around it, and my hopes is that's an azalea tree. So I'm going to go ahead and make my way over there and see if we have some moss to go collect. I found a azalea tree. I don't think it was necessarily the one I was looking for, but it is an azalea tree. So I'm just gonna dig down. And now we're in the cave. I have some torches, so we'll just light the place up. I'm gonna grab some of the bushes, the moss. I'm also gonna grab a little axolotl friend. We gotta grab a spore blossom, of course. So now that we have that moss, I want to go ahead and get into today's project, which is I want to build a kind of tavern style looking building that's going to go right in this area in front of me. I've collected all the resources I need. They're in this chest. Kind of see what the palette's going to look like. But let's just go ahead and jump into a time lapse. So here's our tavern. It kind of looks like Neapolitan ice cream a little bit. You got like the strawberry, the chocolate, and vanilla layers. But it's actually a tavern. It's not ice cream. And in the inside, I've kind of blocked out the floors. So we got the upper, middle, and lower floors. And I want to start the interior up here in the upper portion, which is going to be the rooms of our tavern. I'm going to use shelves as my walls, so it creates some more space in the rooms. I'm also going to turn the floors into spruce wood. We'll put a double bed in this room, and then a single in this one. I'm going to fill this gap in with bricks. I'm going to put a desk in this room, flop down a chair, and a smaller desk in this one. Put down some red carpet, and of course a door for some privacy. And our little rooms back here are done. Now for this main floor, I'm thinking we should put a desk up front to check in for the rooms up there, as well as the fireplace and a little bit of seating. Put the desk in, put some fire in the fireplace, and then we'll frame this out a little bit. I'm gonna move the crafting table and put some seating in here. Carpet. I'm gonna add a little bit of mossy cobble into the floor. And then I think this room is done. Now to move on to the biggest room, which is the bar part of our tavern. So I dug down the ground a little bit more, and I'm actually pretty deep compared to where the floor actually is. But I want there to be seating down here and be able to put like a stage almost where someone might perform. But the first part is going to be the bar, which I'm going to put in this corner. Now that we have a little bar, I'm just gonna add some tables and stuff down here. But I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera because this is gonna require some texturing of these walls and everything. So here's the downstairs with the final touches on it. I add some more details to the bar, shifted some stuff around, put this villager in, and he's standing on honey blocks, so he can't get out. And then the bar, a barrel with a tripwire hook. It's kind of meant to look like a wine barrel almost, where you would pour wine from there. And then we got the tables. I used a lot of invisible item frames to allow me to have these bottles on the table that almost look like someone should be sitting there drinking. Some more of those wine barrels. And I put some netherwort down there so it kind of looks like maybe there was a little bit of a spill. And then we have the stage here, so someone might be performing. And then if we go into this painting here, I have my netherwort farm because I plan to use this room as kind of my potion brewing setup. Even though there's only one brewing stand, I don't really make that many potions, so it just kind of makes sense. And then also down here, I have an infinite water source. So we're all set up to make potions. And in case you forgot, this is kind of what the outside looks like. So I would call a wrap on this build. I'm really happy with how it all turned out. Now, the next thing I want to work on today is this chest room sorting system area. As you can see back here, I have gone ahead and dug out that area behind it to go ahead and put the hoppers and redstone stuff. I just need to go collect the materials and do that. So I'm gonna just do a quick. So now our sorting system is all set up. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on from this angle, so I'm just gonna enter a little bit of free cam so you can see the items go through here and they'll run across the filters. And if it misses the first filter, I have it set up so it'll go through a second time. So it's a double system, so it catches everything pretty much. And then if it doesn't catch the item, it'll go down into these hoppers and enter this chest. So if I take some bricks and I put them in this barrel, and then we give it a second, we'll see them start to flow into the chest, and then it'll slowly build up over time. But I actually end up doing a lot more than just the item sorter. I built this little room. This is kind of like my room in the trading hall. This is actually a garbage can. And these are just kind of storage for leftover stuff. Got my bed. Just a little space for me. As well as I worked on these villagers a lot. And my tools were about to break. So I ended up just having to get a mending villager. He sells it for 12 emeralds, which is really cheap. So I'm really happy about that. And then someday I'm going to make this a zombie one so I can convert all my villagers for lower prices because why not? And that will be our trading hall pretty much. Now we've done a lot of work today, but I want to wrap up with some nice, calm building. I think our little axolotl friend in our hotbar deserves a nice home. So here's our little axolotl oasis. I actually had kind of a hard time here because this ice would form over here before I remembered that sea pickles produce light and the seagrass prevents ice from forming. But I'm gonna go ahead and pop our little axolotl friend in. And I feel like he can't just be nameless. He needs to have some sort of identity. So I'm gonna go grab a name tag really fast. And I think the perfect name for that axolotl is gonna be Lenny. So here's your name, Lenny. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!